Hey, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us for this class on my absolute favorite Young Living product, and that is not an oil, even though we're Young Living essential oils, Ningxia Red. So my name is Amy. I am joined by two of my favorite people of all time, and that is my sister Maureen, as well as one of my dear friends, Autumn. Autumn's mom, Debbie.
It's Debbie.
It's okay.
I know who you are. I met Debbie through my friend Autumn, and now Debbie and I are really good friends. Debbie, I thank you for the grace you always extend me, and you extend a lot of grace to me, and it is noted. So we're going to talk today about Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is one of the reasons that I said yes to Young Living like 8 years ago now. It was 7 years ago in 2014. I had just gone to the doctor, and my doctor had some tests run, and she did not like the results. I didn't like the results either. And she wanted to put me on medication. And I am not opposed to prescription drugs and medication. Hello, they have their place. But I was like, I was obviously 7 years younger, and I thought, this is medication for the rest of my life. And I was like 46 or 47 at the time. And I'm like, that's a long time. And so I said, well, is there like other choices? And she said, you need to make lifestyle changes. I'm like, oh, okay. But you got to make lifestyle changes. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's easier said than done, right? When you're in the doctor's office, yes, I'll make lifestyle changes. But then you're like, okay, I gotta make lifestyle changes, right? And around that time, I was talking to Autumn, Debbie's beautiful daughter, and she was talking to me about Young Living and our oils and thieves, which are two classes that we've already covered. We talked about oils 2 weeks ago and thieves 1 week ago. And wherever you're watching this video, we'll make sure we've got links to those resources, because even though Ningxia Red is my favorite, we can't discount the fact that the oils are the best on the planet, and that thieves, there's nothing like thieves, our thieves line. And so, I actually, as much as I am all like, hey, let's just do it, I do research and I do enjoy learning. And I started reading testimonies that were right in line with what was going on with my health. And people were talking about how Ningxia Red helped them. And so I'm like, okay, so I have to admit, my mom, Maureen and my mom was still alive. So our focus was helping her and helping our parents and taking care of our mom. Then fast forward, I didn't do anything about this till like February or March. So Ningxia Red entered my life in March of 2015. I know there's some things I couldn't tell you what I did last week, but I can tell you Ningxia Red, March 2015. So I started drinking about 1 to 2 ounces every morning. And of note, I would add some Thieves Vitality and Lemon Vitality, because adding oils into your Ningxia Red is a great way to get the oils into your body, but just is an incredible way to add just a little zest to this. But 2 to 3 weeks later, I want to say it was 2 weeks, but I will, for the sake of wanting to be honoring, I'll say 3 weeks. So after 3 weeks of drinking like 1 to 2 ounces of Ningxia Red, the symptoms that I was having at that point, I had been having for years that I wasn't telling anybody about, especially my sisters, because they would have been like, go do something about it. But you know what? You guys can relate. Who can relate? They're like, oh yeah, I've got this going on. But if I tell somebody, they're going to be like, go to the doctor. And not that going to the doctor is a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But we women, we are so mindful of taking care of everybody else around us, right? Especially you moms. But I'm not discounting women who are not moms, because I am not a mom, and I am so like wanting to make sure everyone around me is taken care of. But if we aren't taking care of ourselves, it doesn't, we need to take care of ourselves to be able to take care of other people. So I didn't tell anybody about the fact that up until March of 2015, I had been having blurred vision and dizziness, especially around that time of the month. But that's when it would get worse. But I would have these symptoms off and on. And I started drinking Ningxia Red because even though this is geared for overall wellness, it does have targeted support. Some of the targeted support that caught my attention was blood health and eye health. And so those symptoms that I was having, they went away, and they've not come back. And I drink anywhere from I'll have to, there's some days I don't drink any Ningxia, and then I'm like, why did I do that? But I drink anywhere from 1 to 6 ounces of Ningxia every day, and those symptoms have not come back. And so I think that, I didn't want to chase the symptoms. Again, nothing on prescription drugs, but I wanted to go and support the systems, make sure that they're operating correctly, because when they're operating, and the symptoms are a signal to go, hey, something's not right, right? And so Ningxia Red helped me support my systems to get them working correctly. And then those symptoms I was having, those indicators, they went away. And mind you, I am nothing wrong. I am not opposed to, going, hey, you know what? I've got this, I've got a headache. I need to do something about it. Even though that's an indicator, sometimes you just needed to take care of your symptom, but not at the demise of not supporting your system, because we're talking about long-term versus short-term. So with that, I didn't know I was going to kick off with that testimony, girl. So thank you for allowing me that luxury of doing that. I am going to go ahead and kick it over to Miss Debbie, because she is amazing with just really all natural. So, all right, Debbie.
Thank you, Amy. Always love hearing your testimonies. They're always very inspiring to me. So thank you for sharing. I'm going to talk about the Ningxia Wolfberry, the wolfberry that goes into our Ningxia. And it actually does come from China. And why is it so important to us? Why do we need this red drink, this Ningxia Red drink that we are talking about today? And part of the reason of that is that our food today is not nutrient rich. The food that our grandparents ate and drank, including the water, was they've done tests, and over the last few years, in a 22-year period, things were depleted by like 22 to 75%, depending on what they were testing for. So we are not getting the same nutrients from our food, because yes, we want to eat whole food and eat organic but we're not getting the same nutrients that our grandparents did, which is why supplements are necessary in our lives today. So the food that today, why it's not as nutrient is it's grown on the same land, and they're adding pesticides and fertilizers, which actually take things out of our system then, out of our food. So the plants don't have time to grow and absorb the needed nutrients that they need. And so the soil loses its vitamins, its minerals, and the microbes, and faster. And so it just depletes our food. What exactly is Ningxia? Ningxia is the whole wolfberry puree from the fruit of the wolfberry plant. And what makes Ningxia wolfberries the best berries in the world? It's the only variety that has the highest nutrient levels in the scientific testing. They are grown in the Ningxia River Valley in China, which is where it gets its name. And that valley holds the gold standard for in the Chinese equivalent of our USDA. So being organically grown. There are no fertilizers, no pesticides, sulfur, irrigation, dyes, and no heavy metals of lead, arsenic, mercury, or in the soil. So just know all that is why part of the reason the Ningxia is so good for us. Ningxia Red is so good for us. Why does it work? It's got the highest antioxidant levels. Than anything else. Its QRAC score is nearly 28,000. Blueberries are at 3,000. And we always say blueberries are a superfood. So just realize that the Ningxia Wolfberry is even higher in those nutrients than the blueberries are. It converts from acid to alkaline in the gut. And alkaline, the alkalinity is important to good health because it helps us, it absorbs easy. It's a macronutrient, a liquid food. Liquid foods absorb easier than the whole foods because if it's a whole food, our body has to break it down. And so it takes less energy for our body to break down the wolfberry. So those are some of the facts of the Ningxia wolfberry that are important and why we need that in our life. My experience with Ningxia Red, Amy told hers a little bit ago. Mine was just, I didn't have any specific health issues that I was like, oh, this is why I'm going to drink Ningxia. I just knew it was a really good antioxidant, and I knew it would. I actually use it instead of a multivitamin. My husband takes the supplement. He takes Master Formula, and I use Ningxia as my multivitamin, as my multi-supplement. And that was why I started drinking it. What I found though, was that it actually helped my hair to grow quicker. I always say it helped my hair to grow, and people would go, oh, I don't need that. And I'm like, no, not thickness. That's sulfurzyme. Sulfurzyme helped it to grow thicker. Ningxia Red helped my hair to grow longer. It used to get to a point where, and this is a scientific fact, each of our hair follicles has a certain length that grows, which is why our eyebrows don't end up down to our waist. But our hair can end up down to our, mine never did. Mine never grew very long. It grew maybe to the middle of my back if I was lucky. With Ningxia Red, it grew longer than that. So it definitely strengthened my hair follicles. Also my nails. My nails were the other thing that I found that it strengthened, and they actually quit breaking, quit chipping, quit peeling. And so that's mine. I know it had other effects on me, but those were my big things that were kind of in my face with when I started drinking Ningxia. And it took a little while for me to notice that, because you don't notice your hair. That's not or nails, either one. Aren't quick things. Like Amy's was quick. She noticed in a few, couple weeks there that it was different. My things took a little longer, but definitely worth it. So I am going to kick it over to Maureen now, and she's going to share in all her wonderfulness about some of our other things about our Ningxia Red.
Mute. Okay. Unmute. I had to read that. Thank you. So thank you so much, Debbie. Wow, that's good information. I didn't know that you used it as your multivitamin, which makes sense. So we know that Ningxia Red, that the drink is nutrient dense. It's an amazing antioxidant. For me, I started drinking Ningxia Red on a daily basis summer of 17, when I needed to make some lifestyle changes because I was getting sluggish, and I worked a lot of hours a day, and I felt like my energy level was going down. And so I started drinking Ningxia Red every day, and it was really as much of an energy thing for me. And then, I think once you make one change in terms of that, that decision to make changes, it's kind of big, it's kind of overwhelming. It's like, do you get it done every day? You make one change, and then once you're drinking 80 ounces of water a day, and then you make that change, and then you got more energy, and then you're moving more, and then weight's coming off. It's like this domino effect that's really amazing. But one of my favorite testimonies with Ningxia Red is actually when traveling, because I travel up north to my family. It's a few hours drive, and every couple hours while driving, I would get so tired. My eyelids were heavy, and I felt like I wanted to put toothpicks in them, and I just couldn't handle the drive. So after this one is a few months of drinking Ningxia Red, just because then I traveled and drove that 11 hours, and not once did I get tired. It was huge for me. I thought, oh my gosh, my body is just feeling better. I've started to make changes. And I always, fell asleep quickly and so forth. Like, this was a huge change for me. And I shared Ningxia Red all the time. There's probably a couple of things that are most often shared items from Young Living, and Ningxia Red was one of those. And the funny thing is, about a month ago, I work around a lot of young people, and about a month ago, one of the team looked at me. He's like, they're all, I hate to use those energy drinks, starts with an M, the famous one that starts with an M. Oh my gosh, those M drinks are flowing like crazy, and they all come in with them, and then they go right. There's this other store. It has nothing to do with groceries or stuff. They go, can I go get a M drink? I'm like, yeah. So he looks at me, he goes, Ring, you don't drink any of those drinks, do you? I said, no, I don't. And again, I've got 30 and 40 years on some of these people. They're like, they go, you don't drink this? I go, no. And of course, the one thing I said to the young gentleman, he's like late 20s. I said, well, actually, I drink water. I mean, that's a thing. I said, I drink like 80 ounces of water a day. I said, you're supposed to drink at least half your weight in water in terms of ounces. And he just, okay. I mean, maybe we'll have that conversation again, but cut out the energy drinks. They're just the grossest thing. Anyway, the Ningxia Red, they come in packets. You can buy them by the bottle. I get the packets sometimes. I really love that, because if I don't quickly, pour my Ningxia Red, which I love adding vitality oils to it. Once I'm like, oh, I just grab my packet and go, and then I just have it at work or whatever. So that's really easy. But it's really, we talk about with our Young Living products, which I use so many. I've cut out so many toxic chemicals in my life, which I was just reading about fluoride in toothpaste, and I wanted to cry this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I just kind of left it there for a minute. But my point is that Ningxia Red probably is our number one that we just don't want to live without. And we don't want to live without our oils either. We do not. As Amy was talking about supporting the body systems, within a year of that time, I felt that I had made so many changes, and they weren't in 1 month, they were in a few months. And I had made so many changes. I mean, from supporting gut health and toxins, and, getting out in my personal care products. I mean, you just physically feel better, and it just takes it just one step at a time. And the Ningxia Red has been a big deal, I think, for each of us who are, sharing our testimonies and teaching this class. I'm going to head it back over to Amy or wherever she is. Thank you guys for listening.
All right, thanks, Maureen. I took notes while you all were talking. It was amazing. I just want to underscore some things that Debbie was saying regarding Ningxia Red, and that she noticed for her hair was longer. And I love how she mentioned sulfurzyme, that her hair was thicker. So between those two products, her hair is gorgeous. It's gorgeous on Zoom, and it's gorgeous in real life. Just that taking care of your hair. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I just did. But also, just using sulfurzyme, which I'm going to talk about here, about how you can pair that with Ningxia Red, because sulfurzyme is another one of our products. But I hear so many people talk about sulfurzyme regarding nail care. So I think that's great that obviously Ningxia Red is great for nail care as well. And not even from a cosmetic standpoint, I mean, that's just a sign that your body's operating better. Because Ningxia Red is geared for overall wellness. So just a couple things, and then we're going to be wrapping this up, so just bear with us for just a few more minutes. I want to talk about the red drink. And I love the fact that, like I said, Debbie already talked about sulfurzyme. So sulfurzyme is one of our products, but if you're looking for a way to maybe stay hydrated, obviously drinking more water is helpful for that too. So Maureen, thanks for mentioning that. But if you're looking for a way to stay hydrated and get your antioxidants, pairing Ningxia Red and sulfurzyme might be what you want to think about doing. But what if you could also support weight management or clear skin, healthier joints, a healthier digestive system? You know what? The older we get, the idea of healthier joints to me just is like, where do I sign up? Okay, so Ningxia Red was actually created by Dr. Peter Menke. And the idea is that once you get to, don't always throw out every single one of your Ningxia Red bottles, because when you get down to where you have like 1 or 2 ounces, what you want to do is you want to add about a half a tablespoon, 1 teaspoon of the sulfurzyme powder with 3 drops of our Lime Vitality. This is the regular lime, but our Lime Vitality. I actually add other oils as well because I think it just adds into the fabulousness. But then you fill the rest of the bottle up with water and you drink that throughout the day. Okay, 1, it's delicious. 2, it is obviously can go to supporting weight management, help you stay hydrated, get antioxidants into you, also help with clear skin, as well as healthy digestive system and healthy joints. The one thing that I was learning today was one of the ingredients in here, MSM, is a nutritional sulfur that helps detox the body. I'm all about detoxing my body. Detoxing the body, especially from heavy metals. I don't think we realize the effect that metals have on our body. It also contains prebiotics, which feed the good bacteria in your gut. We hear a lot about probiotics, and we do have a couple Young Living products that are probiotics, our Mighty Pro and our Life 9, but we don't always hear people talk about prebiotics. So the fact that this has a prebiotic in it, that's pretty awesome. So I also just want to wrap up with the fact that if you are, whether you are an existing Young Living account holder or you want to become a Young Living account holder, this month we have been talking about the 3 champions of Young Living: the oils kit, the thieves kit, and obviously today we're talking about the Ningxia Red kit. So I'm going to do a screen share for us because obviously I am multi-talented. And I'm going to show you that right there. This right here is our starter bundle. It has that, even though it's showing 1 bottle of Ningxia Red, trust me, there's 2 bottles of Ningxia Red. You get 30 of those Ningxia Red packets. And like Maureen said, those are great for on the go. And then you get a bottle of nitro, which interestingly enough, I know all 3 of us, Debbie and Maureen and I, all love our nitro. We've not specifically talked about that, but those 3 products, full price, $270. And you know what? Ningxia Red's worth every penny you spend on it. But for once you're an account holder and you unlock the 24% discount, that's $200. So I'm like, hey, don't we love saving money? $200 isn't bad. But this bundle pricing that's available to, like I said, new and existing Young Living account holders, $135. You guys, that makes it half off. So we don't have many things on our Young Living lineup that's half off, but the Ningxia Red starter kit is one. And I do have nitro here. I have many testimonies regarding nitro. When I wake up in the morning and my head is just like, I'm not ready to wake up, and I try not to take over-the-counter pain medicine. This is a great way. This is a great way to just zap your brain alive all naturally. Doesn't make you zippy. I'm using Zap in a very fun way. So whoever sent this video to you to learn more about Ningxia Red, reach out to them with questions that you have. Obviously, we're available for questions as well. So wherever you're seeing this video, we are sharing either our contact information or or as well as links to various resources on Ningxia Red, but also the thieves and the oils kits. So again, thank you for your time, and we appreciate you joining us today. All right.